didn't turn out as planned, but again, there's some things that we got to work on. Tweaking for me, my biggest concern was our special teams. When you talk football, for me, I've been taught that if you win two phases of it, offense, defense, and special teams, is 2/3. That increases your chance of winning. Well, we didn't. We did it, and in my opinion, I thought we did extremely well offensively. However, because of the debacles we had with the special teams, it put the defense in bad situations. The two fumbles, the return yards, what most people call it the hidden yardage, those things put our defense in a position where their average drive was 40 and in. So law of averages, you're going to score. They scored, Now, when you look at the totality of the game, there were 2 times when we were in the red zone in the first half. We only came away with field goals. There's also a saying that, if you rely on field goals, you can get beat. And it kind of caught up with us, because had we been able to punch one of those in, I think the outcome would have been different. But at the end of the day, we're not pleased. I'm not pleased with the special team performance. So what we have to do is continue to work and improve from a personnel standpoint, from a standpoint of what we're doing with certain guys in the game at the time, from a special team standpoint, to make us a better team.
You talked about the special teams, and people will talk about the missed PAT, but you talked about the kick coverage. What is it that you guys are missing there, and how can you guys rectify it? Because it's kind of like you said, where they started.
Bad.
Yeah.
You can't piss me off. These 4 worked, and I saw it. I think what we have to do is look at personnel. One of the things from a strategic standpoint in football itself, if you're not as fast as you would like to be in terms of coverage, then you sky kick it. So now you give your guys a chance to get down there, force a fair catch. Or you squib kick it. Well, we try to do both. When we squib kicked it, we kicked it out of bounds, so we brought it out now to the 35. And I was thankful that they didn't make us kick it again, because now they would have a chance to return it. And the return game, and let me say this now, that returner was not a bad returner. That kid could possibly be all conference. If y'all know anything about football, those guys over there, they did their part. So hats off to them. But again, we just have to shuffle and move some people around and make sure that in practice we're paying attention to the details. We have something we call indicators. Anytime you watch and sit film as a special team guy, there are certain positions you can watch and they'll tell you the direction of the return. And then when we're in play, we have to make sure the indicators are doing what we saw on film, and then we'll evade. We have 3 zones: speed zone, avoid, and then attack. Speed is from 40 to 40. And then the avoid zone is once you see the direction of the return, you avoid to the side of the return, and then you attack. From an attack standpoint, if you're getting blocked, that button presses, we're ripping through, we're swimming, whatever the techniques we teach. And then you got to make the play. Tackle always the outside leg of the returner, because if you miss him, you force him back inside to the rest of the pursuing defense. We didn't do a good job of that. So we're not going to just tear up our thought process, because a year ago it worked. So what's the problem this year? And it's probably personnel. And that's what we'll do. We'll make personnel adjustments. So some of the guys you saw a week ago running down on special teams, you may not see them this week.
How do you address the locker room after a game like that, where they fought to the finish line and just came up, 1 point short?
You use a life analogy. That's life. It's going to happen. Trust me, there's not one coach in the country that goes into a season saying, oh, we're going to lose every game and we're going to lose this game. The intent is to work and prepare. Now, the unfortunate part in life, let's be real, everybody's not where they're at when they came straight out of college. It took some years to get to that point. Same thing. Now we're growing, we're getting better, and you got to learn from those lessons. The easiest thing to say is, hey, don't let what beat you last week beat you next week. But at the end of the day, in football, and this is talking strictly football, you talk about the definition of insanity. You do the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result. Well, guess what? Football people are crazy, because that's what we do. And as Rams, historically, they've expected to win, and that's what we're trying to do here now, get these guys to have that mindset. Because a big part of it is the mindset, the confidence that you take out in that field for preparation, and then when you start making plays, the excitement, stand in the moment, stand in the game. And sometimes, as young men, you'll get too excited, it'll bring you down, or you'll start oversighting, and you'll miss some of the things that you need to be paying attention to detail. So what I told those guys is pick your heads up, because you played one of the better teams from a year ago and one of the better teams this year. And we could have arguably beaten them. So with that being said, again, we talked about in the beginning, we'll respect all, but we'll feel none. And we got a couple more games to get this thing right, and we're going to be okay.
Coach, Bowie State.
that great, and we're not going to talk like that. But at the end of the day, we have to win this game. And for me, I lead with saying by any means necessary. So if it's hitting the field goal this time to win it, or if it's scoring a couple points more than we normally would, then so be it. But we have to win this game. It's a sense of urgency.
To the players, how hungry are you guys?
Pretty much the same thing. It's 1 week, we in a new week now. Flush it down the toilet and keep it going. Don't let the stuff sit.
The quarterback for Virginia State, he ran for like 80-plus yards. There's a lot of running quarterbacks in this league. You guys had a really good job of coverage, but for us who didn't play the game, just kind of explain maybe the adjustments you guys will make, because it looked like it was pretty successful.
What we should have done Saturday was did a better job of containing, and we talked about this. And, this is not an excuse, it's a reality. You just said the quarterback rushed for 80 yards. They were very smart when they ran the ball, but this quarterback, we felt, couldn't beat us with his legs, and he couldn't beat us with his arm. He was just a good field jumper, and he did the things he needed to do in a timely manner to preserve that win. Because again, when we started back scoring, the momentum had swung. Offense did their thing, put us in position, and then of course we had to miss extra point. And I don't want to hop on that, but again, we have to get better there too. But when you start talking about just football 101, contain is one of the first things you teach you guys. And what you can't have is guys missing contain. There's one play where Jalen Norris came off the corner. He had the guy, he slipped, he still tried to trip him up. Quarterback kept his balance, got outside and picked up the first down late in the game. That can't happen. But in life, you're going to have some slips, you're going to have some falls. But in football, that can't happen, and it happened, so it cost us. And not that play itself, but just the analogy of him getting outside, losing containment, and now being able to pick up the first down. That hurt us. So we're putting an emphasis on all those things. Again, when you talk about, and I heard this comment, and I'll say it again and I'll stand by it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I was referencing the running game. When you're winning and you got the lead, run the ball. You're not going to blow everybody out. Run the ball, get the clock, get on home. Because when you get out there and you try to get too fancy, you might get your best player hurt. Then you can't coach again. So again, this is our thought process. The things that we did well, we'll hop on that and improve. So that means some of those things in this game were not broke, so we don't need to fix them. We need to improve it, but we don't need to fix it. Some of the things that are broken, those are the things that we're going to fix.
Coach Massey, going back to what you said a few minutes ago about, this game is so important coming up. I feel like a lot of coaches shy away from the must-win mantra, but it doesn't sound like you're shying away from that at all, how important this game is with the bulk of your CIAA play coming up.
This is who I am. I'm going to brag a little bit. I spent 9 years in the National Football League. I was a second-round draft pick from Division II historical black college and started as a rookie. So pressure is not the issue. Just wanting to shave and get out there and help them win it. That's what I really want to do, but I can't. So I have to share my passion, my love, and respect for this game, for what it's done for me to these guys. And if it wears off and they catch it, we're going to be dangerous. And I think we are.
To the players, how does getting coaches?
You need every game.
For sure. Like we said before, 1-0 every week. That's the mission. Doesn't change.
Oh, last question. You guys really had a lot of success in the second half when you guys were behind with the tempo offense. Kind of had them on their heels. Is that something that we might see more? I know you want to run the ball and kind of.
I think that's situational. We were behind. We had to do that. And again, we're still, we don't want to give away our concerns as a staff. But, we want to make sure the offensive line is gelled. It all starts with the offensive line in the trenches up front. So those guys are still coming together, and they did an outstanding job when we came to the passing game. But that's a good tool to know we have in the box. And I've always said this, Dalen's the type of player that if we have to throw 20 to 30, 40 times to win a game, I think we can. But in all honesty, we want to do what traditionally most people do. If you look at the stats, we're right at 50% in terms of run pass over the past season, and we're trying to get that because that's the balance you need. If you just line up and throw that ball every time, it ain't gonna go your way every time. Shit, we dropped passes the first game of the year. So again, we were fortunate enough, we were smart enough to take some of the length off the throws, make it easy, get it to the athletes, let them make plays. And that's what we did. But it's good to know we have that in our arsenal, but at the end of the day, I don't want us to get pass happy. Because in order to win championships, and it's just not here at Winston, but anywhere, you got to run the ball and you got to stop the run. Whether it's the quarterback running or the running back, you got to stop them defensively, and then offensively, you got to run the ball, whether it's the quarterback or the running backs. Preferable, we don't want a quarterback doing a whole bunch of running because of his passing value, but at the end of the day, Damon's the type of kid, and he makes great decisions to where he's been healthy for the most part. We want to continue to do that.
Would you like to see him keep the ball a little bit more?
At times, personally, yes, I thought that, in those 2 field goals that we pulled, like he walked in late in the game, that probably would have been the case. But that's based on the read. So when he's giving that ball up, it's because that guy's shoulders are flat, he pulls it. If that guy stays square, then he gives it up. So it's based on what the defense gives you. That's where they got that RPO stuff from. Because actually, technically, it's illegal because when those linemen, and he's carrying that ball, and them linemen 3-4 yards, and he pull it, he throw it, technically that should be illegal man downfield. But because RPO is such a big deal in football, college football today, they give him that grace period, and they tell you that every game. Look, now if you're 5 yards down, coach, or more, we probably call it, but 3 to 4, we're not gonna call it. And that keeps defense from being overly aggressive. So again, Damon's capable of doing it. He's gotten bigger and stronger, and I think when he do it, he's done a good job for the most part of when to pull it and when to give it.
Coach, how do you keep teams confident?
True microcosm of life. So again, as pissed off as I was, as upset and disappointed as I was with the overall outcome, I got a real good football team. I got a real great group of guys, got an outstanding coaching staff for what it's worth, and we work hard. That's one thing we're gonna do. We're gonna work hard. And the goal is to satisfy our 25,000 plus bosses, which is the alumni base. And we're gonna do that. But again, like these guys said, that week is gone, we'll flush it, and now we get ready for week 1, which is Bowie. Great question, too.
Any more questions? If no more questions, final thoughts, Coach Massey?
Well, I say it all the time, we can't afford to let what beat us a week ago the following week, so we're gonna make the corrections and the adjustments. We're gonna practice hard, we're gonna practice smart. A big part of that is these 2 gentlemen here. They have done an outstanding job for us. They're both transfer guys, and I'm glad we got them. You've seen make some plays defensively with lines, and then this here, this is my guy. Hey, did you get it? I don't know. Did he get offensive player of the week? He didn't? He didn't came out here? He didn't get it?
Not this
Oh
week.
my God. Well, anyway,
We'll be
he sets the table for us offensively. And guys, let me tell you something. You talk about centers, not centers, NFL centers, and I think, he's out, and you guys are, some of y'all, well, a few of y'all should understand this guy I'm gonna talk about. Everybody ever Mike Webster, Pittsburgh Steelers? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
He don't know who he is, probably, but you go Google it. I played against him, so that's a long time ago, but one of the best in the business, man. And he has a chance to be one of the best in the business, and I'm grateful for both of these guys. And they follow my league, and I'm gonna try to lead them in the best way possible. And they've responded extremely well. So we're proud of these guys, but we still got a lot of work to do. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We look